Hi, this is Barry J. McDonald here, and I'd like to welcome you to today's blog post over at rightcom.com. And today we had a look at something that happened to me in my past, and as the blog title says, what were we thinking? Now, many years ago, when I was a lot younger, my dad had I don't know what had got into his head, but for whatever happened anyway, he had this notion that he was going to win money on X-to-ball competitions. Now, if you don't know what an X-to-ball competition is, if you could imagine two soccer players, caught in mid-action in a photograph, and somebody has airbrushed out the ball. That is what an X-to-ball competition was at the time. And basically what you had to do was you had to guess where you thought the ball was going to be, and you had to place an X on the page where you thought it was. So when it came to the X-ball competitions, there was different levels you could go into. You could get maybe you could put in maybe 50 X's maybe for $5, maybe 100 X's for $10, and maybe 150 X's for maybe $15. So at the time, my father put me in charge of the X-ball competitions, and I would do the work and then he would pay for it. So basically he would say, right, I want to go for the 50 X's for $5 or whatever it was at the time. And what I would do is I would sit down with a pen, I would look at the picture and, think where I thought the ball was going to be. And I would put down these tiny wee X's until I had 50 done. And I would usually count through them and make sure that those, that I had 50, that I hadn't got 49, I hadn't got 51. So it meant that we couldn't be disqualified. But I would do my best and look at the page and, have an idea of where I thought that ball was. But it always amazed me then when, maybe a week or two later when the solution to the puzzle came out, or that X-ball competition came out a couple of weeks later. It always seemed to be that the ball seemed to be in a completely different position than where, where it looked. For example, you might have two soccer players maybe, and as they were running towards each other to tackle the ball, both their eyes were looking downward at the ground, which you assumed where the ball was somewhere down there. And when you got the solution then a couple of weeks later, you were going to find maybe the ball was up in the sky, which didn't make sense. It didn't look like it was in the right place for where their heads were turning or their eyes were looking. And I always wondered why weren't they in the place where I thought they were? I used to try my best to find the best positions. And at the time, when I look back now, I wonder what the hell were we thinking? Like, this was before internet. This was before many people had a home PC or had anything like that. So like the fact that maybe all these different people were sending in these slips every week with all their X's on it. Like, who was actually going to sit down and look at my sheet when they came in and say, yeah, there's 50 X's in there, and went through sheet after sheet after sheet and had a look and see which one was the closest. Was this fella's X a little bit closer than this fella's X? Well then, it just makes me, it was such a scam and such a rip-off that it just totally, when I look at it now, I can't believe how stupid we were. But, at that stage then, the following week then, we would get another X-ball competition slip, and we would, again, I would be put in charge of it, and I would count out the 50 X's or whatever it was, and I would try my best to win the $10,000 or whatever was given away as the grand prize. But it was just so much of a complete rip-off. It's just, when I think about it now, it's ridiculous. And from that stupid mistakes, I can see so many people, online in the publishing world making so many stupid mistakes, and there's no reason that you should be doing it. You have people buying traffic and sending it to a book page, or maybe buying traffic on book promotion sites and never tracking it, never testing it to see which site is giving them the best return for their money. You're going to find so many authors aren't testing book covers, when it's so easy to do. It's a matter of maybe just buying a couple of Facebook ads and running 2 ads, basically just testing out the book covers and seeing which book cover gets the most clicks. And you'll know straight away then, well, that book cover seems to be pulling better than the other ones, and maybe I should go with that book cover, and that should be the one I should run with for my book. And there's so many, so much software out there. There's Google Analytics for websites and, blogs and all this different stuff. And so many people don't use it, don't track and don't test, and fly by the seat of their pants and just waste so much money and so much effort. And maybe they could make more money on their book if they had to done something like that, maybe tested book covers and got the best book cover. Again, find out what, if you had a blog, you know, what is the most popular blog posts, and then write more of that content, because that seems to be what your readers are interested in. And there's so many ways you can do it. Like, for example, if you were doing something, then like recently I've tested an image on Instagram, and rather than just throwing it up and finding, you know, how many people interacted with it, I actually tracked, you know, how many people interact, how many people click the link to go to the website that I put on the Instagram image. And it was very easy to do. If you just go over to Bitly, set yourself up with an account there, and, you know, create a Bitly link and drive traffic through Bitly rather than through the website link that you have. And then Bitly will tell you in the dashboard then how many people clicked on that ad, how many people went to that website, and then you can see yourself then, you know, over time then, was that that campaign you did, was it worthwhile? You know, is it worth advertising, you know, doing particular things on Instagram? Do people, you know, act on the links that you're putting in your account, and your you know, on the image that you're using, or are you just wasting your time? And if you're not tracking and testing these things, you know, you're just like my father and I was many, you know, all those years back when we were doing those extra ball competitions. You know, you're just throwing money out there and you're not thinking about, again, that was a scam back then. It was a total rip-off, so there was no chance we were ever going to win it, because, as I said, the ball never seemed to be in the right place. But, you know, if you're not tracking and testing the stuff that you're doing, you know, finding out what is the best traffic to buy, you know, what is the best book promotion sites to use, if you're not using things like Google Analytics, or measuring the links and the clicks that you're getting on, you know, on your website, or, you know, again, the Bitly thing, you're never going to know where the how you can, you know, get the most from all that information if you're not tracking it. And it's so easy to do nowadays that you really have no excuse not to, you know, find out what is working for you and what is not working for you. So this has been today's blog post over at writecom.com. My name's been Barry J. McDonald. Now, if you'd like to know more about me, or if you'd like to pick up 2 of the great free reports we have over here, you're very welcome to drop by, because we have got a great free report which is going to show you how to sell more books, and I have another one which is going to show you 10 ways to make money from writing. So if you'd like to pick up either of those reports, or you'd like to read some of the great content we have on the blog here, you're very welcome to drop by, and we'll be welcome to see you there. So take care and have a great day. Bye bye.